Hey, before this video begins, I would like to say that you can email me at risewithproductions@gmail.com if you have any story submissions for me. Some of the stories here are actually from my email submissions. Also, our goal is 100,000 subs by the end of the year, and if we can hit that would be awesome. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to comment, let me know what you want next, and enjoy. Be good people.
On March 20th, 2023, 19-year-old Isaiah Joe Trammell was booked into the Montgomery County Jail in Ohio on a misdemeanor domestic violence warrant. Isaiah was autistic and had ADHD, conditions that made him particularly vulnerable in a high-stress environment like jail. What should have been a routine booking process turned into a nightmarish ordeal that ended his death less than 10 hours after his arrival. From the moment Isaiah entered the facility, he exhibited clear signs of distress. Surveillance footage released in June 2024 captured the harrowing sequence of events that led to his tragic fate. Isaiah, left alone in a holding cell, repeatedly slammed his head against the walls and the metal door. Instead of receiving immediate psychiatric intervention, he was largely left to deteriorate under the watch of jail staff. According to reports, deputies and medical personnel checked on him periodically, but these interventions failed to stop the escalating self-harm. With each passing hour, Isaiah's conditions worsened, but no emergency measures, such as transferring him to a medical facility or placing him on suicide watch, were implemented. His self-inflicted injuries became increasingly severe until he ultimately succumbed to blunt force trauma to the head. As confirmed by the Montgomery County Coroner's Office, his death was ruled a suicide. Isaiah's family, devastated by the circumstances of his death, has spoken out against the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office, arguing that the jails failed to provide the necessary care and intervention for a young man in the midst of severe mental health crisis. Attorney Sarah Gelsimonio, representing the family, criticized the jail's negligence, questioning why Isaiah was not placed in the medical observation unit despite his increasingly alarming behavior. His family believes that Isaiah's neurological and psychiatric conditions were ignored, and that his death could have been prevented if proper de-escalation protocols had been followed. The grief has turned into a call for accountability and systematic reform, demanding that jails implement better mental health services and more humane treatment for individuals in crisis. In response to the public backlash, the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office released a statement claiming that Isaiah had received continuous medical supervision during his time in custody. Well, we all know that is not true, but oh well. Officials maintained that staff had acted within protocol and suggested that his mental health struggles were beyond that the facilities could have adequately managed. However, many critics argue that Isaiah's untreated distress and prolonged self-harm indicate a systematic failure rather than an unavoidable tragedy. Isaiah's case is not an isolated incident. Across the U.S., jails are increasingly serving as a de facto mental health facilities. Yet many lack the resources or trained personnel to handle inmates with serious mental health conditions. Individuals with autism, schizophrenia, or severe depression often face neglect, excessive forced or prolonged isolation, exacerbating their symptoms instead of providing the care they need. Following Isaiah's death, Montgomery County announced new investments in jail mental health services, claiming that the additional resources and training have been allocated to prevent similar incidents. But for Isaiah and his grieving family, these measures come too late. His tragic death remains a painful reminder of the gaps in mental health and care within the criminal justice system, gaps that, unless addressed, will continue to cost lives. And that is just one of the many issues in this country. My brother himself suffers from autism, and I hate to put it that way, but I don't know how else to word it. The truth is, my brother is an amazing child, and it hurts me to see people like Isaiah suffer. Isaiah reminded me a lot of my brother, and watching him freak out even reminded me a lot of myself. I have a lot of composure, and I could probably handle myself in a prison cell, but if I was pushed to the wrong edge, I probably would freak out just as much. Being so trapped in one area, not understanding fully what's going on, and keep in mind he was very high-functioning autistic as well, is a very scary thing. People get overwhelmed. It's beyond autism. It's just human negligence at this point. There is a lack of understanding for people with autism from the police perspective. There's always cases all the time out there with police harassing autistic people day in and day out and even getting them killed. It's happened too often at this point. It's unfair. It's disturbing because at the end of the day, a normal human being, well, rather a person that isn't autistic, I apologize, it was a bit insensitive, wasn't it? A person that isn't autistic should, usually be able to go to the prison without, much of an interference. Of course, cops can be pretty shitty, but we're not going to get, too into that or anything. It's not a video about that. But yeah, if the normal quote-unquote person was arrested, they'd be fine, like most of the time, in theory. But they don't account the people that are genuinely having issues like autism, etc. And yeah, sure, they catch a few tweakers here and there, but this is different. I mean, you catch a person that gets overstimulated easily, gets overwhelmed, and maybe doesn't work in an environment like a prison. A prison has so many lights, sounds, and mechanical things, and doohickeys, and fucking pipes. It's disgusting. It's truly disgusting, and it's upsetting to really hear the story and read it to you guys because, I've looked at this case for about a week now, and I'm very fucking upset about it. I love my brother, and seeing this video, it just hurt. I don't know how to put it. I really do. I just feel like people need to be more aware that there's an issue here. Police need to have regulations of some sort. They need to sit back and reevaluate how they treat everybody in the world. Listen, an autistic person or any other person that is not neurotypical, that's the right way to put it, not neurotypical, should have a way to be handled, treated, respected. At the end of the day, we're all human, and neurotypical, neurodivergent or not, whatever you are, it doesn't matter. We all need certain types of respect, and we don't all fit the algorithm, I guess, or I don't even know what the word is. We don't fit that. You know what I mean? We don't fit, and not everyone fits it. And I don't want to say, oh, we all need accommodations or some bullshit like that. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying us as people, we need to, focus a little bit, I guess. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. I'm sad about it, but it is what it is. This is one of those cases that really bothered me, and I wanted to dedicate a video for Isaiah. His story impacted me in a way I never thought it would. So I hope that Isaiah finds peace in death. There's so much more I could say, but I'd rather not get too deep into it at the moment. And much rather try to look at the positive side for now. But never forget to stand. Do not let people stomp around the special needs. Special needs are important in everybody. Every single person.